Welcome to a new episode of Opening Bid Unfiltered. I'm Yahoo Finance Executive Editor Brian Sozzi. Like I always say, this podcast will make you a smarter investor. And if you do not get smarter after this one, you're just like, you're not getting it, because you should get really, really smart after this. It's a real treat to have Ring inventor Jamie Siminoff in the Yahoo Finance house at our New York City headquarters. It's good to see you, man.
Thanks for having me.
It feels you and I have never met. You're also out with this book, Ding Dong, appropriately with the Ring doorbell on the cover. Let's make
the appropriately named Ding Dong,
right? You and I have never met, but it feels like I know you. Like you have to get that. Like I've seen you on Shark Tank, and I have, I think, 3 of these doorbells. I mean, what are you working on right now? I want to get into your career, but you came back to, you left Amazon, you came back to Amazon. Like, what are you working on?
So, I mean, I left for about a year and a half, and I came back, and what I've been working on is how AI can become what I call IA, which is an intelligent assistant. So, and applying that to Ring. So applying it to our cameras, all of our features, our neighborhoods. I mean, we can go into it, but like we're returning 1 dog a day right now with a thing called Search Party. We just launched something called Fire Watch, which helps look for fire through the cameras when we have these events like we saw in Los Angeles. So there's just like so many cool things that we're working on right now. And so I'm kind of back, and I just feel like I'm also back to like startup mode.
I was so excited to talk to you. You know, I don't want to gloss over Jamie's career. I mean, you created Ring out of your garage, right? When did you create it?
I did back in 2011. And yeah, I was in the garage inventor, literally working on other stuff. Couldn't hear the doorbell. I looked for a Wi-Fi. I had an iPhone. I'm like, oh, let me get a doorbell that goes to my iPhone. I mean, it was early days. Nothing did it. So I'm like, oh, let me build a doorbell that goes to my iPhone. And it turned out my wife said, this makes me feel safer at home. People seem to love the idea. It was like when sort of pre-sale things like Kickstarter were starting to go up. So we kind of put it for pre-sale. And yeah, one thing led to another. And it's now, I mean, it's Ring.
People should know too, like I grew up, my grandmother was the first one in my house to get an alarm for her house. But you walked in and you punched things into a wall, and that was your alarm system. You essentially created something that never even existed. Like, how did you know that you were onto something?
So I realized we were onto something when, I mean, my wife was the first one who said, this makes me feel safer at home. And what I quickly understood is technology had changed. The companies building security for residences and homes had not adjusted to it yet. And that by having phones with us, we were now able to connect to our home. So we needed the other side. You needed something to connect to. And by doing that, you delivered presence. And presence is basically like someone comes into the house and says, hi, I'm here to sell whatever. Like they might be looking to see if the house is empty, like a lot of these like knock burglaries and stuff. So now it's like you answer, you say, no, I'm in the back. Sorry, I can't come out. And they leave. And so delivering presence to neighborhoods was really important as a first step. And I got kind of lucky, but I also, I mean, once I started in this, I saw these little pieces and sort of breadcrumbs to lead us to what we've done today.
Have you defeated porch pirates? Is it over?
Porch pirates, yeah, they're a tough one. They're like cockroaches. They don't seem to want to fully die. But we keep combating it. I do, with AI, I would not be surprised if in the next year, 2, 3, with what we're doing, that we're able to really impact those things like porch piracy, because those are they're really hard because you need someone to sort of watch the camera all the time. And you don't want to have to always watch your camera all the time. And I do think we can take this, again, AI to IA, like being an intelligent assistant. Your intelligent assistant, if it was watching it, would know what to say, what to do, what package is yours, who's coming up. And that's what we're getting to.
In those early days when you were building Ring, I imagine perseverance was vital.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I would say, yeah, grit. I mean, hardware is a tough business. It's very cash flow intensive. If you grow, you're going out of business because you need sort of more money to grow. If you shrink, you're going out of business. No matter what you're doing with hardware, you're going out of business when you're small. It's a really, really tough business, ton of grit. But we had a mission to make neighborhoods safer. And I think that's what it really is. People always say like, what built Ring? And they want to know like the thing we did, was it the chip that you put in? Was it like, what's like, they want like some physical answer. And the truth is we had this mission to make neighborhoods safer, which had the team aligned on something that was greater than money. and greater than just sort of call it like financial success. It was aligned around making an impact. And when people are aligned on something like that, it's amazing what you can accomplish. And we needed that because when you go to your team, you're saying like, I'm not sure if we're gonna make payroll next week. If they're just there for money, they're going to say, well, then I'll go to the company that has money. Instead, they're like, don't worry, we got this. Like, we can get this together. And, you put a group of people, crazy, scrappy people together like that. It's amazing what you can accomplish.
It's infectious, right?
Totally.
Did you ever want to quit? Was there ever that like, I'm going to quit tomorrow, I'm done with this crap?
I think, to be fair, I would have quit a few different times. The problem was, it's like a poker hand. I was already all in. So I would have loved to have just walked away with my, if I could have walked away with what I had into Ring, and I wasn't super successful when I started it, but basically I put everything I had into it without sort of personal bankruptcy. There's many nights that I would have, I would have pulled the ripcord and gotten out of it. I just couldn't, because if I walked away, I was going to basically go personally bankrupt. It was the only way out was up. And so I just had to fight my way through it. I mean, the book, I wrote the book because it is like the stories are just pretty crazy of how this thing happened, and how on the razor's edge we got of like success or failure.
What's one crazy story that you remember?
I mean, the craziest one is like we almost went bankrupt right before we sold it to Amazon.
In 2018,
in 2017, 2018. And like the story is just crazy. And it ended up, the difference of really like I'd say like either bankruptcy or certainly selling it for like no return to investors, like maybe it would still exist, but really like no one would have made money. From the difference of that in number of days to signing the deal with Amazon was like less than 40 days. So I went from like, what am I going to do personally to signing a deal for $1.15 billion with Amazon. That's a pretty like big swing for a couple of weeks.
Well, what did you do the next day after this deal was done?
I literally for 5 years I stayed there and I just grinded away and kept building Ring, and we just kept building and building and building it. And then finally I hit this point where I just was burnt out. Mm-hmm. And so in 2023, I said to Amazon, I'm like, listen, I got this thing to profitability. It's it's probably one of the largest home security companies in the world. Like, I feel like I did it. And so I'm gonna step back for a little bit and try to chill out. And that's when I actually looked and I was like, holy cow, like look what we did. Like,
but was it harder to sell to Amazon or leave something that you created literally from your garage?
Yeah, I think the leaving was the hardest, because I didn't want to leave. I knew I was burnt out. Like I knew I needed a reset. I'd been doing it for so long. It went from my garage to selling it for $1 billion to Amazon to just like over 100 million cameras out there. I mean, just like crazy stuff.
I can't believe it. I have multiple cameras.
Yeah,
it's floodlights.
And so I just sort of like needed like to take like a sabbatical and like a breath. But yeah, that was super hard. It was super hard to leave. And it's been amazing to be back, especially with AI really has allowed us to, I feel like I'm back in the garage starting over again, because everything I look at, I'm like, I see that we can do this differently. I see we can like add this feature. I mean, we are just ripping right now in building just amazing stuff.
Oh, I definitely want to get into the AI and what you're focused on. But during that break period, and I think this could be a good lesson to other leaders, founders, CEOs, you name it. What did you do in that breath period?
Well, I mean, like any afflicted entrepreneur, I ended up building another little business. I sold it to this other company. We tried to sort of take that thing. So I was still doing stuff, but in a funny way, just doing something new was what I needed to refresh. It also, and again, it did allow me to step back. When you're inside of something, it's really hard to see the impact. I mean, I know like at Ring today, like, we're doing these things, I see the impact, but from the inside, you're also dealing with all the problems, the issues, what you have to, like, you see everything. And so when you step back and and you're sort of disconnected, then you really see the good, like what it really is. And so I would say like to any founder, to person in business, I mean, I am 10 times the leader that I was previously by stepping back and taking a breath and re-looking at the field, if you will, and then readjusting for that. And it's not just like what happened while I was gone. Like I look at decisions I made even like 2017 before we sold, 2018, like I'm correcting things now that I see Like this wasn't there's better ways to do this that we can do even bigger things.
Well, how are you different, I guess, as a leader then?
I think it's like a clarity. It's just because again, when you get, it's like a snowball, which is a good metaphor for being in New York City today. You just get this haze stuff sort of just keeps building around you as you get in it longer and longer. And when you get out, like you just blast all of that off of you. And now you just see like with full clarity. So I came in with, I'd say, just a much more clear thinking, like a reset. And that's why we've been just the speed at which we go now. I mean, we are building product. It used to take us 18 to 24 months to turn a product from concept. Like when I said, I want to build a floodlight camera, okay, like it's probably like almost 2 years to go from like that saying we want to do it to shipping it, which is actually not that bad. We're now doing stuff in 6 months. Now, a lot of that's also with AI, but it's a fresh perspective. And there's a lot of companies that everyone has access to AI. I would say they're certainly not all using it the way we are.
Did you grow up as a tinkerer? I mean, were you pulling apart video game console machines?
I literally I think as soon as my hands worked on a tool, I was taking stuff apart. I mean, I was in the basement as a kid in New Jersey, just taking stuff apart always. And that's how I learned engineering, which is, I didn't have YouTube, so I had to sell.
There was a point when there was no YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you might not believe this. Like, I mean, for some of you younger listeners, it's like, but so I literally just took stuff apart and I learned how, by breaking things, I just learned how things came together, which ended up for my career was critical because building Ring, I've done a lot. Like I've fixed a lot of stuff on the products that, we have engineers but when you have really practical experience, I think is still is underrated. And that's why, Ring is definitely not the Ivy League business. Like we are a scrappy group.
And you're an OG inventor.
I am an OG inventor. I'm an OG inventor, and the team that we surrounded ourselves with are OGs. Like they are just a scrappy group of people. Some of them hired off of Craigslist.
Craigslist
for our. Oh yeah,
and they're still there.
100%.
Wow.
And so, but that's the And I actually think with AI, I take the positive from AI. AI is democratizing information. So what's left is human ingenuity, human scrappiness, hard freaking work. And so I would say with AI, it's going to become 1,000 times more important to just work your ass off, figure stuff out yourself, that human ingenuity, because the reality is everyone now has an engineering team. Everyone has a legal team. Everyone has access to that.
Yeah. Hang with us, Jamie. We're going to go off for a short break. We'll be right back on Opening Bid Unfiltered. All right, welcome back to Opening Bid Unfiltered. Having a fun chat here with someone whose career I really have admired. I have a lot of his products, so I'm not surprised this interview came too light, and I'm really excited to have Jamie Siminoff here, the inventor of Ring. You have their products. He's also the author of Ding Dong, like I mentioned at the top of the show, appropriately titled. I mean, this is right up his alley. So you are now back. You're back at Amazon. That first 90 days back at Amazon, what did you do? How do you readjust to that corporate life?
So I went for just macro first principle thinking. So where has the world changed since I left? AI. How does AI? How are we going to benefit our customers with AI? We need to see more. We now have this sort of super intelligence in the cloud, and so we need to see more. So I said we need to increase the number of pixels that are out there. So 4K cameras. So we're going to we need a full line of 4K cameras, 2K cameras. We need to increase. Whereas before, it was really the human eye. If you're a customer, we call our customers neighbors. But if you're one of our neighbors, is kind of what you could see is fine. But now with AI, the more pixels you get, the deeper it can see, the more analytics, the better it can sort of tell you stuff. So that was one. The second one was literally just AI. We need to lead in every way, and we have a mission to make neighborhoods safer. We need to start figuring out how to use AI in the neighborhood to benefit the neighborhood. So one of the first things we launched is Dog Search Party. Now, if your dog is missing, it's gonna be like, Jamie, this dog that was posted that is missing looks like this dog in front of your house. Do you want to contact your neighbor?
Hell yeah.
Of course. And by the way, if you say no, I mean, you're just a bad person. But the cool thing is actually, to be serious, is you can say no. No one knows you said no, and your privacy is fine. But if you want to enter into the neighborhood, which any good person is going to do, they say yes, and then they talk to their neighbor like, your dog is here, and they return it. One dog per day, over one dog per day is being reunited with their family, like literally today, like every day. And that's what we're doing. So like that's a feature that I was like, we need to do these things because we have over 100 million cameras out there, and we need to help our neighbors leverage them for good. We launched a thing called Firewatch. The LA fires that everyone saw. I mean, these big sort of events. One of the problems is the firemen don't know where the things are jumping. So fire jumps like a quarter of a mile, a half a mile, like literally can jump like these huge lines, start somewhere else. And so it's very hard for them to understand where to fight the fire outside of like the core, like what they can see burning. And then those things become big fires, which then makes it harder for resources. We had over 10,000 cameras in the Palisades area, which is where I live, in Los Angeles at the time of the fire. We absolutely could have helped to make a real-time map for them to use the resources better. If we can use the resources better, maybe we had enough resources there to help slow. I don't think we would have stopped certainly would have it's not like there would have been no fire, but maybe we could have helped stop some of these other little areas from burning and other houses from burning and families from being affected.
What's the next big unlock for Ring? I mean, I look at the doorbell, game-changing product. It's hardware, but it sounds like software is the next frontier for
I think it's all about this stuff we're doing, with the sort of, again, the search party, the Firewatch. Then we also launched an app store. And I think the other thing, pre-AI, like your camera gave you, I would say, like if you bought your camera for $100, I think we gave you like $100 of value for it. We gave you as much value as you could based on the technology and where it was. Now there's other things you want to know, like why is the camera seeing the lawn go brown and not telling you that like your lawn's dying? Why?
Kind of blow my mind because I need my camera. It's facing my lawn.
We didn't set this up.
Wait, is that feature out? Like, is it coming out this summer?
So what we did is Ring, and this is where I think companies make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like Ring is focused on making neighborhoods safer. We're focused on building the products. Like you have to focus in my opinion, you have to focus to be successful and to deliver the best for your customers and our neighbors. But things like this, the long tail of things, is going to be super important. But it's like the iPhone. Apple didn't build every game, every app, every whatever. They built a few core things, right? Like around their core. And then there's, I don't know, a million apps. I don't even know what it is on the iPhone. I think we're going the same direction. So now you can add from a third party, a grass thing. But no one's built it. You go build it. Someone should build this.
Like if my car's parked out front, I need to know if the tire needs air.
All these all these are these long tail things, like that someone else, and with AI. Literally someone in high school, a kid in high school could probably build this, focus on it, build a really cool app, throw it in the app store again, just like on the iPhone, and then get picked up and make some money with it, whatever, charge a little bit, So we announced this app store at CES this year in January, so we just announced it, and I think we're going to see thousands or tens of thousands of these types of use cases that are going to benefit people. And again, some people are going to want to see the lawn thing. Some people aren't. So that's where an app store is great, is it allows you to really customize and get the most value out of that sort of what the camera's capturing.
I think about this lawn feature and I immediately think this is great for my landscaper. This is good for the economy. What are some of your concerns though on how fast AI is moving?
I mean, certainly AI is the fastest. I mean, in my career, I haven't seen anything like this. I don't think anyone has. It's something where you say the best in class is this while we're literally sitting here, and 20 minutes later, someone launches something that's like 10x better. It's like, I've never seen the leapfrogging that's happening in it, and it's unbelievable to watch it. I'm very positive. I'm someone who I think maybe as an entrepreneur, like I always look at sort of the bright side of things. I think it's going to deliver. It's democratizing information. I think it's going to allow people to really, truly unlock their full potential. I'm actually very overall globally positive on what it's going to do, and I'm seeing at Ring what we're doing with it again, like returning a dog. Like that is AI that's doing that, reuniting that dog with a family. hopefully, fighting the next fire with AI. And I think that's what we have to do also as an industry. If I'd say I'm including myself in sort of somewhere in this industry, is we have to show people what it's doing. Like the problem is when we talk about AI, and it doesn't do anything for you, yeah, you're probably going to be scared of it or not like it. But if you start to see that, your dog comes back home, or you're safer in a fire, or like, you feel safer in your home, or your landscaping is better, like you'll start to be like, oh, I get this.
Is there one more big invention to be had in the home?
There's millions of big inventions to still be had. I think, if there's anything history has told us, is that we can never sort of imagine the next thing. There's always something next.
See these humanoids like folding laundry and stuff? Are you a big humanoid guy?
The humanoid thing is interesting because if you could make a humanoid at a low enough, like the world is built for humanoids, like we built like the entire planet for like the human, basically like model. And so the big unlock with humanoids is that they can use anything. Like they can jump into a car and then to a bulldozer and then on a bike. Like they can kind of, if you really truly have a humanoid, it can just sort of fit all the things we've built over the last hundreds of years in the planet. So now, it's certainly like that's above my pay grade. I'm like a doorbell. I like make doorbells. I make floodlight cameras. I do, door and window sensors. I make
you have door and window sensors?
Oh yeah, we have a whole we have the full alarm.
Are these at Home Depot? Like where can I find these?
Home Depot, online, Amazon.com, BestBuy.com, Ring.com.
All right, I have to let Jamie go, but I did want to get one more question to him. Fortunately, I don't have a ton of time to do these. What's your best advice to the next generation of inventors that are inspired by your story?
Yeah, I think it's work on something that matters. It's so easy to get with AI and all this stuff to get like wrapped around the technology and get into the technology and not into what it does for people. Focus on what you can do that like matters also to you. Like I love making neighborhoods safer, making them better. Like I get up in the morning, I'm jazzed. And so it is hard. The chances are you're going to go out of business, that you're not going to make it. And so if you're just going for money and you're just trying to take a technology and make money off of it, it's like I said, it's too easy. You'll just give up. But if you're doing something that you care about and that's better for the world, you inspire people, you inspire your team, you inspire your customers. It's just like a better way to do it, I think.
You're getting a photo or a video of my perfect lawn this summer.
I am excited to have, there's going to be someone out there's writing the app. Write the app, Ring App Store.
It's coming. Jamie, thank you so much. And congrats on the book. It's awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
That's it for the latest episode of Opening Bid Unfiltered. Continue to hit me with all that love on all the social media platforms. And be sure to watch this episode, especially on Amazon Music, because why not? We'll talk to you soon.